I discovered my wife was having an affair with her boss. I never thought I'd be here writing about how my own marriage felt like a lie. I'm a 35-year-old husband married to my wife Sarah, 34, for 9 years. Life had been comfortable, 2 careers, a nice home, and our routines. But about 6 months ago, I started noticing little cracks. Sarah began working longer hours, often without a clear reason. She'd rush out each morning and come home late with excuses about overtime or meetings. At first, I told myself I was just being paranoid. I was giving her the benefit of the doubt, but deep down I felt something wasn't right. The first time I really worried was when I found lipstick on her collar on a Tuesday morning. She smiled it off and said she forgot to grab her jacket, that's all. Weeks passed, and I noticed other small changes. Her phone screen always face down, a new code lock I didn't know. She was suddenly texting more at all hours. My mind raced. Maybe it's just work stress. Maybe I'm overreacting. Yet each night I lay awake, heart pounding, replaying every weird glance and secret smile I'd caught on her face. The doubt grew like a shadow in my head. It felt like I was losing myself in this quiet paranoia. After a while, I couldn't ignore the signs any longer. I knew confronting her without proof would be futile, so I started gathering evidence, something I never imagined doing with the person I love most. I felt guilty, like I was betraying her trust, but I needed answers. I began by paying closer attention to patterns. I noticed Sarah's car would sometimes go miles extra on the odometer after late work nights. I started quietly checking our shared calendar and saw an odd entry labeled Dinner. Mark. Even though there's no restaurant in town by that name. My stomach dropped the moment I noticed it. Who was Mark? At home that night, I hovered near her desk and caught a quick glimpse of a text on her laptop from Mark that said, "Can't stop thinking about last night." My hand shook. My mind screamed to leave, but I hovered until she was out of earshot, then sighed in horror. Was this boss's name Mark? Her boss's name was Mark. The pieces clicked into place with a sickening clarity. She had told me they were working late together. That meeting excuse now felt like a lie. Each discovery felt like a punch to the gut. I started checking more. Phone logs, hidden emails, the works. I stole moments when she was in the shower or when I thought she was napping just to glance at her locked phone screen. Is this me? Is this who I've become? A snoopy husband on the verge of breaking? I justified myself by convincing that I had to know the truth, even if it hurt me. Every new clue I found made it harder to trust. I found receipt stubs for expensive dinners that included Mark S. as a guest. One night, my fear became reality when I saw a text from Mark on her screen. "I miss you already. 3. My heart stopped. I read it a second time, hoping my eyes deceived me, but it was real. My wife and her boss were in love, or at least thinking they were. Every memory of our last few months replayed in my mind as if under a cruel spotlight. I saw how she'd flinched the one time I hugged her after work, how she clutched her phone a little closer when I tried to make conversation. I remembered casually noting she had her hair done, wearing a dress I'd never bought her. I'd been so blind. Emotions churned inside me. Heartbreak, disbelief, anger, and deep, deep sadness. This was the worst nightmare coming true, and I couldn't wake up. It all came to a head one rainy Thursday evening. I'd been avoiding her calls and kept acting busy around the house, hoping to keep her calm until I could figure out what to do. She finally came home, soaked from the rain, and started making dinner. My hands were trembling as I poured myself a glass of water. The apartment felt colder than ever. I knew I had to speak up now. "Sarah, we need to talk," I managed to say quietly, my voice breaking. My heart hammered in my chest. She turned around, knife in hand, expression puzzled at first, then concerned seeing my face. I swallowed the lump in my throat. "I know about you and Mark," my words trembled out. The rain drummed the balcony window as she froze. What are you talking about?" Her voice was soft, uncertain. "I have your phone," I said, sliding it on the counter in front of her. The screen lit up, showing dozens of sweet, late-night messages from Mark. The most recent one was written just hours ago. "I can't stop thinking about you," she gasped, rushed to grab the phone from me. "Give it back! That's none of your business!" she screamed. I held it tight. The kitchen blurred in front of my eyes. "It is my business when you're betraying me," I said, voice cracking. "How long, Sarah? How long has this been going on?" My voice was hollow, desperate for answers. Her face crumpled as she read the messages. For a terrifying moment, she said nothing, just stared at me with tears in her eyes. I'm sorry," she stuttered, voice shaking. I felt rage surge up. "Sorry? You're sorry for hiding this for months? Tears spilled down her cheeks as I sat down, running my hands through my hair. You don't have to explain, I whispered. But she looked at me, eyes red. Finally, she broke. I love him, okay? I love Mark. I didn't mean for it to happen, but it did. I didn't want to hurt you. Her words cut deeper than any knife. Love him. You love me. I shouted. We built this life together. How could you do this? She sobbed. I thought you were drifting away. You were always so tired, busy with work and your own hobbies. Mark listened to me, cared when I talked. I felt alive with him. Her voice trailed off. Anger mixed with heartbreak in me. So you throw away everything with me for this? Do you even feel guilty? She shook her head, tears falling. There was silence but for her crying and the rain. In that moment, looking at her tear-streaked face, I realized I was seeing a stranger. The woman I trusted with my life had broken it in pieces. My heart was hammered into pieces, and nothing would ever be the same. I left the kitchen without another word, leaving her crying by the sink. I spent the next few hours pacing our empty bedroom, wrestling with a whirlwind of emotions. She knocked softly on the door, apologizing again, but I couldn't face her. Every loving memory I had of us was tainted now. The betrayal felt like a physical wound in my chest. I realized in that cold, lonely hour that I couldn't stay. The trust was shattered beyond repair. By morning, my mind was made up. I packed a bag. In silence, I placed an envelope for her on the kitchen table with our joint ring, and a note, I hope you find what you're looking for. I didn't say goodbye. Her plea was muffled through the door as I left. Outside, I felt numb, like I was walking away from my own heart. Rather than turn this into another fight, I decided to handle things quietly. I called a lawyer friend who helped me start the divorce papers that day. I also did something I hadn't told anyone. I emailed screenshots of their messages to Mark's own wife, who had no idea what was happening. Maybe it was petty, but I needed to see justice, and I wanted them to feel some of the pain I was in. The relief was immediate after I walked away from her. It was like ripping off a scab that had been festering inside me. I made arrangements to move in with a close friend, John, whose wife had gone through something similar. John gave me a shoulder to cry on and the strength to not go crawling back. I could feel anger still simmering under the surface, but I also felt a strange calm. The storm inside me was slowly clearing. One night, as I sat on John's couch quietly sobbing into a pillow, I felt something harden inside me. I knew I deserved better than lies and broken promises. She shattered our vows, and I would not let her define my future. Update. Moving forward. It's been 6 months since that night. The divorce was finalized a few weeks ago. Sarah moved out and took up with Mark, making no secret on social media of their new life together. I won't lie, that first week alone was hell. The silence of our home without her was deafening. I missed her company, even though she hurt me so much. I questioned if I'd done the right thing, if I was being too harsh. But soon, the agony started to dull. John was right there by me throughout. He and his wife were a rock. I started therapy to deal with the betrayal and rebuild my self-worth. I rediscovered old hobbies I'd ignored for years. I even started running and joined a local book club. For the first time in a long time, I felt like myself again, not just someone's husband. This week I met someone new. It's nothing serious, just coffee and friendly conversation. But her warmth reminded me that not everyone is like Sarah. For the first time, I could see a future that didn't revolve around that pain. If I'm honest, part of me still aches at what I lost, but the pain has changed shape. It's gentler now, more like a scar, a reminder of what I survived. Thank you to anyone who's read this far. I never imagined I'd be writing something like this, but I needed to share. I am okay now. And while the betrayal still stings, I know I'm stronger for having survived it. Life has given me a second chance at happiness, and I plan to take it.